We have literally, I've timed this completely wrong by the way. I wanted to time it so I got to the boat just in time to talk about what we've had done. Welcome everybody, Russ McDonough, aka the Nomadic Veteran, and welcome to this week's video. Now, appreciate it. It's been a hot minute since we dropped a video. A hot minute being probably, I don't know what, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, apologies. I thought, so actually this is the first video back for a little while. Be kind, first time back in front of the camera for a little while. I'll have a little chat with you about why we've been quiet. Yeah, it's nothing exciting, nothing crazy, just, you know, it is what it is. However, what I thought I'd do, get us back in the swing of vlogging every week, maybe even twice a week, but probably just once a week, is we have literally, I've timed this completely wrong by the way. I wanted to time it so I got to the boat just in time to talk about what we've had done. I'm miles away. So what we've done is the boat, Lisa, was 80% done. There's obviously bits and pieces we need to do. The inside and the outside is where the major work was done. One of the things we needed to do was, there's no 3-pin power, and the solar wasn't up to scratch as such. So the first job we've had done actually is we've got more solar panels, and we just literally got the work completed this week. So I thought I'd give you a small brief on our solar panel setup on our Narrowboat now. Obviously on van life it was a lot easier because we were predominantly in hot climates, so which meant we got loads of sunshine, and then because we were moving around all the time, the split charge was just powering the leisure batteries, giving us loads of power. The difference being on a boat, we only move once every 2 weeks, and the other thing is we're in the UK during winter, which means there is very little sunshine. Anyway, this is what the setup we did have. That single solar panel there, so that's a 245 watt panel. And now, look at these. We've got these two babies, look at those, delightful. So they're 330 watts each, which is immense. And then, what's great is they provide some extra storage, glorious. And then, the great thing about them obviously is you can tilt them towards whichever way the sun's shining, if it ever shines in the UK, which is quite rare. So yeah, they're handy. Oh, cyclist going past. So what I'll do is I'll take you down to where we keep all the electrics and that. I'll give you a kind of a heads up on what we're using. But yeah, we're really chuffed with those actually. So we've got twice as much. Oh, you might be thinking actually, well, why didn't you just use the solar panel which was on there and, you know, save yourself a bit of money? The reason for that is, I don't know if you noticed, that's blue, and I wanted 2 black ones because a little bit of OCD. I just wanted 2 brand spankers ones, and the other one is, like I said, the other one's old, so we don't know if it's working at full capacity. These 2 are brand new, so we know that the age, we know that they're going to be working really well, so that is why. And then, yeah. Let's check out the electrics inside, and then we'll have a smally chat about why we've not posted in so long. Come on. Right, this is where all our sort of like electrics are kept. Now, as people who have watched this channel will know, I'm not a mega hands-on guy with all this sort of stuff. So I will talk you through it as best I can, tell you what I know, and then hopefully that will be able to help you if you're thinking of doing this. So, this is, alright, so one of the things I said before was like we didn't have any 3-pin power, and for that you need an inverter. Now in our van we had a 1000 watt inverter. This one is a 1200 watt inverter. If you don't know what an inverter is, essentially it means it's giving you enough power to run appliances which are, use a little bit more juice, shall we say. So for example, in the van we had a blender which was 700 watts. So having a 1000 watt inverter, we know that will power it. The one thing you have to bear in mind is take whatever appliance you're using, aka blender for 700 watts, add 20%, which would be 140, use that extra 140 That's to get the power going in that blender. It's to get the engine started, that fired up as such. Once it's going, then obviously it drops back down to 700-ish. So always take that into consideration, whatever appliance you're going to use. The amount it needs, plus 20%, if that comes under the size of your inverter, you're good to go. So we've got a 1200 watt inverter. This is our control panel for the solar. At the moment, because we are struggling for sunshine at the moment, it's still kind of trying to charge these batteries up, which we have got 3 leisure batteries, all 115 mAh. And then we've got this smart gauge up here. Oh, it's just gone off, which will basically tell us one of our batteries is 12.5, one's 12.4. And if I hold this down, that's a rough percentage of the batteries are 66% charged. Not ideal. We can start the engine to kind of try and boost it up a little bit, but already just today having the extra solar, that's gone fired up much quicker than just having the single solar panel. So that's good. And obviously this is how we turn all our stuff on and off in the boat. So lights, water pump, we can turn that off when we're not using it. 12 volts, and obviously this little button here, which we've not tried it yet. That will be so we can use our 3 pins, our inverter. The reason we haven't tried it yet is because we just need to fit the socket, like the fronts, because we're getting them changed out, make them all look pretty. Once we've got those next week, then we're good to go. And that's it really. That's our solar panel setup. We've seen some narrowboats. Like, in fact, the guy which fitted this has got 16, was it 16? He's got 16, yeah, 16. I know that sounds ridiculous. He's got like a wide beam, and he's got 16 solar panels on there. 8 going down one side, 8 going down the other side. We've got 2. Pathetic. But you know what? Needs must. So that is it. What I'll do now is, well, let me get a cup of coffee, and then I'll tell you why we didn't post for so long. Yeah, let's do that. Right, well I wanted to, Hoochie, don't go. You're the star of the show. I wanted to do a little bit of the video with the boys in, because that's what most of you come here to see anyways, Cookie and Hoochie. Why haven't we posted for a little while? You know what, we just needed a little bit of a break from the whole filming ourselves, and we kind of had a bit of a break from social media altogether. We did bits and pieces on like Instagram and that, but we just wanted to have a bit of a break. What we've been up to? We've been dotting around London, enjoying London. We spent Christmas and New Year at a place called Victoria Park, or as the locals call it, Vicky Park. So that was really nice. I've been doing a little bit of CP work. We've been kind of just embracing London life, essentially. And it's great being on a boat in London, because even though you're in a big city, it doesn't feel like you're in a big city, if that makes sense. And I think we're going to stay in London for the foreseeable future, because, like I say, I've got a little bit part-time gig doing CP, and then there's loads of stuff here which we want to do and that, so it's really great. However, I'll finish on the type of New Year we had, and I'll spin this really quickly. So New Year's Eve, obviously we had a fantastic Christmas, if you were thinking of asking that, thank you. New Year's Eve, me and Gibbo, we're not big drinkers anymore, so we decided to stay in. We watched a bit of Netflix. I can tell I'm getting older. I read a book, not the whole book, but I read a bit of a book. And then we got our heads down, I don't know, about 10:30, 11 o'clock. We didn't even make midnight. At approximately 1:30 in the morning, I can be quite a light sleeper at times. I felt the boat I felt someone stepping onto the boat. And I woke up, and then a second later, we heard this frantic soaring. Someone on the boat, like our bed is right near the back of the boat, and we heard this frantic soaring, and obviously my mind just went into overdrive straight away, and I started shouting, and I was banging on the door and the roof, and basically some little scallywag was soaring through the handle of our generator, because obviously we've got it padlocked up and all that, was soaring through the handle, because it's a hollow handle, plastic handle, to nick it. So we managed to scare him off, little scrote bag, but obviously I was a little bit wide then. I was like, oh, fucking ready for a scrap and that. You'll be pleased to know the 2 boys just, kind of did nothing. And then approximately an hour later, 2 drunken young lads, merrymaking, decided they wanted to have a fight with our chimney, so I had to scare them off. And you're probably thinking, that's quite an interesting New Year's Eve or New Year's Day so far. Oh, that's the kettle. Right. A few moments later. Where was I? Right, so you're probably thinking, geez Russ, that is a pretty mental way to start your new year. It gets better. So we woke up in the morning, a little bit fatigued, broken sleep and all that good stuff, and where we were parked next to Victoria Park, or Vicky Park, I was making a coffee, I was doing something in the kitchen. I looked out the window and it looked like a dead body was floating in the water, but obviously that wouldn't be happening. So I was like, oh, it's just some plastic bags, and it just looks really weird. It was like facing down type thing, and I was like, oh, it really looks like a dead body, but it won't be. So I didn't think anything more of it. People walked past, nothing happened, and then about half an hour later, the world's amount of police and ambulance service rocked up, and it turns out there was a dead body floating about 10 to 15 feet away from where we were moored up. So that was really sad actually, because, you know, New Year's Day and there's a dead, well, not for us, but for the girl who obviously, you know, was a young girl. Yeah, don't know what happened. You'll be pleased to know, I don't know if you'll be pleased to know, Gibbo has been keeping an eye on it in the local papers and online, and it's still, they still don't know. Like, no family of the young, they've not been able to trace any family, and they still don't know, like, the circumstances or why or whatever. So is there something dodgy going on? I'm not too sure, but either way, it was a really it was a rough start to the new year for us, and yeah, poor girl, rest in peace for her as well, obviously. But anyway, yeah, the thing I was most annoyed about was some scallywag trying to nick our generator. But anyway, I think that's it. Moving forward, we'll start doing videos every week. We'll start taking you a bit more on our #Narrowboat life, and I think that's about it for this week. Granted, the production value of this video probably isn't as high as you'd expect, but we're easing ourselves in, and that's it. I'll leave it there. Usual admin, if you enjoyed this video, thumbs up. If you want to share it, because sharing is caring, 2022 baby, be kind, do that. And then if you want to subscribe to the channel, I don't think there's any reasons why you wouldn't want to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I'll see you next week. I promise you there will be a video next week. Good. Laters.